Welcome back to Houston Life. Seasonal cocktails and festive spices have become part of the holiday season for many families. But the way these traditions began might surprise you.
Yeah, cocktail historian Elizabeth Pearce shares the stories behind them during her Drink and Learn events at one of our favorite spots, Brennan's of Houston. And Elizabeth recently stopped by Studio B to serve up a history lesson in the kitchen.
Happy holidays, Elizabeth. Welcome back.
Happy holidays. I'm really delighted to be here.
It's so good to see you. And throughout the holidays, we see a lot of cinnamon and nutmeg, all kinds of spices. I mean, growing up as a kid, we always had a spice cabinet, right?
Yes.
And we just took it for granted. But back in the day, spice was considered, what, a sign of wealth?
Absolutely. And it's why they show up in so many holiday dishes, because those are the dishes you use to celebrate, and also the drinks that you use to celebrate. So, like, think about mulled wine, which would have like cinnamon and cloves and all of that. So because spices came from very far away, so if you were in Western Europe, let's say, and you wanted to get some nutmeg or some cinnamon, you're going to Southeast Asia or to Vietnam. Well, that's far. So by the time it got back to you, then it was very expensive because there were lots of middlemen, you know, making these trades. And so if you offered dishes with these spices, then that would show your guests tremendous hospitality. It's like they're worth it.
I see. Okay,
Yes.
so like, you know, when people break out the fine china, people would break out the fine spices.
Exactly.
And allow their guests to really try it all.
Yes, and so you can see we have these 4 dishes here of spices, but you as a host would have them already pre-ground in a dish that we would call a deviled egg platter, because it would have these little divots,
Okay.
and they would all be candied so people could taste them after dinner
on them.
as like a digestive. And this is something we still do, because look, we have candied ginger.
Oh,
it's
yum.
it's the same idea. Ginger does not grow easily in like Germany. It's because it needs to be warm. So we carry these ideas with us today.
Okay,
And
well,
that
it's
is
delicious.
nutmeg
Eric?
next to it. That's
Yes.
like nutmeg in its unground form.
Exactly, and if you have a recipe that calls for nutmeg, you should use you want to get one of these.
Why?
And one of these.
Yeah, why is that so important?
Because, well, first of all, in the 19th century, people would they would do fake nutmeg. They would grind wood, and then they would infuse it with like
scam
oil.
artist.
It was a scam, and
What,
that
you're
is
eating
why
wood chips?
it is my understanding that is why Connecticut is called the nutmeg state, because they were liars, and because you can't grow nutmeg in Connecticut, but they would offer it. Sorry, Connecticut.
Oh, that's okay.
The nutmeg state.
Sorry,
because
Aunt
they're
Mary,
liars.
that's my Aunt Mary
Yeah, so
stuff.
if you taste ground nutmeg and then you taste it like fresh, it is so much better.
Game changer.
Yeah, so you
I
just
see you
do a little
sprinkled
bit. Yeah,
some
I did
on
some
the-
already, but you can always
on
do
the
more.
eggnog.
Nutmeg
And
is
you can leave this out.
great.
So eggnog you can pre-batch and put the nutmeg grater out and tell people to grate their own. So that's a nice little thing.
Elizabeth,
You know.
last time you were on the show, we talked a little bit about eggnog, and you were telling us that it was served back in the day to people who are extremely ill.
Yes, it's for the sick.
For the sick, right? Because the dense calorie count,
Right.
meant that you were getting nourishment,
Okay.
but also the booze in it
Was medicinal, right.
Okay.
So if you could get a prescription for eggnog?
Well, I don't think you could get a prescription. It would be something that your nana or your mama would mix up. It
okay.
shows up, the eggnog recipes show up in a lot of invalid cookery books. Like they're in the back, along with like the beef bone broth, like
my
that kind of
goodness.
thing.
A
Yes.
medicinal elixir. There was also a really fun story of a famous swimmer who, this was her drink of choice after swimming all day?
Yeah, so even if you were healthy, but you wanted to have like a protein shake, right? So that's like, think of it this way. So for the sick, it was Ensure, but with liquor. And for the athlete, it's the protein shake. So it was this woman in Rhode Island.
Constance Warren.
Constance Warren in 1911, and she was trying to break a swimming record. And her coach was paddling along in the boat, and every now and then she would come up and, you know, be exhausted, and he would offer her eggnog.
Hold on. Wait, with booze in it or without?
Well, that part was not mentioned.
Unclear.
It was unclear, but it was in 1911, and that was before Prohibition, and no booze eggnog really shows up during Prohibition, not before.
I need a boyfriend like that. Travis, I've been working out.
Bring me some eggnog.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And so today it's evolved. Obviously, there are non-alcoholic versions of eggnog. Excuse me. Is it primarily rum in it?
Oh, you can.
Whiskey,
You can.
brandy?
Yeah, I would say brown liquor, no vodka in your eggnog.
Okay.
And so it's up to you. I think this recipe from Brennan's features bourbon.
Okay.
But brandy would be nice, or rum. And you can do if you want to use, make your own eggnog. I think Brennan's has shared a recipe, and you may as well. And you can pretend that you're living in the early 1900s New Orleans, where you could throw an eggnog, which sounds dangerous, but actually eggnog was a kind of party.
You could throw the party.
Yes.
And Elizabeth, is it true? I mean, I see that we have our holiday punch here, which also is filled with cinnamon and spices. You were telling me before this segment that even gingerbread houses and sugar villages, those were also signs of wealth and opulence.
So think about gingerbread. It has ginger, it has cinnamon, it has maybe cloves or allspice. All of that's expensive. And then you construct a house, and not like the little children's house,
Like a big one.
Like a really big
the kinds
display.
that are at hotels,
Yeah.
right? And so you'd have this huge house, and think about how expensive that would be. All of that cinnamon, all of those spices and all that sugar, and your guests would get to see you. You're displaying this wealth, and then. But they were also well off too, so no one would eat it because that would be, kind of gauche. But at the end of the party, then you would take the house and give it to the servants, and then they would get to eat it.
Wow. Wow. That would be the display of wealth.
Can you imagine? It's like you're giving. Okay, well, I have a lot of questions about that. I mean, it's fascinating though. That's the origin of the gingerbread house, to show off.
Just showing off, exactly.
And the Yule log too. Like think it's that show where they make cakes that look like something else.
Is it cake?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, it's the same idea.
Wow. Elizabeth, I always learn so much anytime you stop by the studio. And this eggnog, I know you love eggnog, but I think I'm starting to also love eggnog. This is delicious.
It is
Well,
the best.
you should just take it, and after your workout today, you can have a sip.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Forget the protein shake after the gym.
Protein shake.
Elizabeth Pearce, so you're based in New Orleans.
That's right.
You come to Houston often, you do events at Brennan's, but like if we wanted to invite you to our house, you would do this for our friends.
Yeah, so I can come to Houston in person, or I can come via Zoom, which is how most people bring me into their living rooms.
We want to do one of your walking tours in New Orleans.
And you absolutely should come and do that as well. So I do classes and tours in New Orleans, and I do cocktail classes virtually as well.
Okay. And you're taking people through the history of everything. You're teaching them so much, and you're giving them some great drinks.
Everyone is a fan.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's so
Brandon and I
smart.
remember
It's
the
so
last
smart.
one you did at Brennan's. I still order a Sazerac because of you.
Oh, that's
Truly.
nice.
I was somewhere a couple weeks ago and I ordered a Sazerac.
That's lovely to hear.
Yeah, I think-
So you drank and learned.
I did, and the person was like, wait, are you from New Orleans? And I said, no, but my friend Elizabeth Pearce,
What a
cocktail historian, is. Elizabeth Pearce, it's
thank
great to
you.
see you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
It's
Cheers.
always great to see you. And in the meantime, if you would like to connect with Elizabeth and learn more about her events in Houston and New Orleans and wherever, you can go to our website, HoustonLife.tv. Look for that scene on Houston Life section.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
And don't
Cheers.
go away. Houston Life will be right back.